her mouth, how is she gonna keep me alive? How is she gonna take care of me effectively?
Okay, so today I had my second advanced med surg test, and this covered neurodegenerative disorders like myasthenia gravis, multiple sclerosis. We went over spinal cord injuries, acute kidney injury, chronic kidney failure, chronic kidney injury, and there's something else, hematologic disorders. So that's what this test is on. This is about 200 pages of reading. It was a lot of material to cover in only 50 questions. So that was today, and I've been studying for this test for the past 2 weeks, and yeah, I had a really rough morning today. I had a very rough start, so I went to bed at about 3 o'clock this morning, still reviewing. I don't know why I stayed up so late, but I did. And then I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning in so much pain. Like, my stomach was cramping so bad, like this has never happened before, and I was freaking out because I could hardly stand. I tried taking Tylenol, I drank Gatorade, I even made myself a peanut butter jelly sandwich, something that I know is pretty mild and will settle my stomach. None of it was working, so I was in such a panic because I'm like, there's no way I could take an exam in this condition. And so I told my mom, and she basically recommended that I eat ginger. So I ate a spoonful of ginger, and sure enough, 10 minutes after ingesting that bitter ginger, my stomach ache went away. And all of this caused me to be late to my exam. The exam was at 8 o'clock, and it usually takes me about 45 minutes to get to school in the morning. So I usually try to leave by 6:45, 7 to get to class at 8. Today I left at 7:20, so I got to class at about 8:10, 8:15, so I was about 10-15 minutes late for my exam. I was freaking out, literally ran to the exam room, sat, took the exam. I answered the questions as best as I could, but I feel like I definitely rushed through some of the questions because of the time constraint. So I'm not super confident on my performance. I don't think I failed, but this definitely was not my best exam. So that's how this morning went. Hey guys, so right now it's 7:46 in the evening, and I'm headed to Walmart to pick up a few things before clinicals tomorrow. And I'm kind of kicking myself in the foot for doing this right now because it's kind of late for me to be out, knowing that I have to be up by 5 o'clock in the morning. But I forgot to wash my scrubs for the hospital, and I don't have any more detergent, so I have to run to Walmart, get some detergent. And I figured if I'm gonna be here, I might as well pick up a few of the things I need. This is pretty creepy. Look at this. It's a two-headed doll. Wow. Mad creepy. Okay, so I have I don't know if it's focusing, some of these Snack Club crackers. These are so good. I use these to eat in class and when I have a break during clinicals, and they're wrapped up individually, so easy to grab and go. Yogurt that I eat with some granola bars I have at home. Coconut water. I'm trying out a new creamer for my coffee in the morning. I got some lean cuisine. So I got 3 different flavors: ricotta, cheese, and spinach ravioli. Cheese tortellini, I've had that before, I like it. And then spinach artichoke ravioli. I have some smoothies. Again, throw this in my bag or drink this on the way to school. Aloe vera juice. Oh, of course, black girl staple, coconut oil. Yeah, gotta have that. shaving cream, mouthwash, dryer sheets, and crystals to make my clothes smell nice. So that is my Walmart haul. Okay, so I'm finally leaving Walmart and it is 10:42, so I spent a grand total of 2 hours at Walmart, and that was not my intention. This is supposed to be like a quick 30-minute, 45-minute tops trip, and I've been there for 2 hours. So let me tell you what happened. So I get everything that I need to get, what I showed you in the haul, and I get to the register and I'm fumbling because I can't find my debit card, and I'm looking like
calling stupid at the register
because I'm like, oh my god, where is my debit card at this point? Oh, okay, Marsh. I had been talking to a gentleman behind me, like an older guy. He just asked you. He pretty much could digress that I was a student by the items that I was buying, and of course he was correct. And then, you know, so I told him I was in nursing school, whatever. We're just making like small talk, and then then it's time to pay, and the cashier's looking at me, and I'm like looking through my cards, and I'm like, oh crap, where's my debit card? And I cannot find it. So I end up having to make the purchase on my credit card, which is not something I wanted to do. And now I'm investigating because I'm like, where the heck is my debit card? So at that point, I pay for the items because I don't want to be that person at the register fumbling or like causing the scenes. I pay for my items, and then I like go off into a corner and I start looking through all of my stuff for my debit card. So I spent like a good 30 minutes roaming around all of Walmart, retracing all of my steps, looking for this debit card, and then I couldn't find it. So at that point, I was like, you know what, let me just go to customer service. Maybe someone out of the kindness of their heart returned my debit card, and thank you, Jesus, they did. So I have my debit card back, and I was actually able to return everything that I purchased and get the money refunded to my credit card, and then I just rebought it with my debit card. So it ended up working out. Good morning, guys. It's 6:22 in the morning and I'm headed to the hospital right now. I'm running a little bit late because there's traffic, of course, but I'm still on my way. Hey guys, so it is now 5:42 in the afternoon. We got out of clinicals about an hour early and I'm on my way home, but there's tons of traffic, so it's gonna take me a while. So I thought I'd just update you on how my day went. I feel like I had a decent day. You know, I worked with a nurse that I've worked with before, and she's really good at teaching along the way, so I was able to. She's a really good nurse. She really incorporates education into her rounds. So as she's rounding and doing her nurse duties, she does take time to stop and teach me different things. And she's very hands-on, and I really appreciate that about her. There's literally so much traffic. I'm like have to keep my eyes peeled on the road so that nobody acts cray. But what did I learn today? My med-surg rotation is on a bariatric / urology floor, so I see a lot of lap patients, cholecystectomies, lots of JPs, Penrose tubes, things like that. So just a lot of gastro-urinary patients and the occasional psych patient, but that's mostly what I see and what I'm familiar with. And this is the same floor that I was on for my first med-surg course, so I'm very familiar with the nurses and of course the charge nurse. And I don't really know what to say in these vlogs. It's kind of weird, so sorry for the jumpiness, lots of potholes. So I'm just going to tell you what I normally do, or what my professor normally asks of us and how it works. I usually try to get to the floor by like 6:45, 6:30. get my patient information, who I'm seeing for the day, what's going on with my patient. At this point, because I've been on this floor, I've seen a large gamut of different disorders. So 9 times, oh maybe not 9, I would say about a good 70% of the time I'm already familiar with the disorder. But there's a lot of times where I'm still looking up things. Sir, do you not understand how the rules of the road work? So that's just report. So that goes on from about 7 to, I'd say maybe 7:45, 8 is report. And then at that point, I go back to meet. We have pre-conference, so my professor as well as my other classmates, we meet up in a conference room on our floor, and we discuss what we learned in report. And my professor will quiz us on things like, for example, if my patient has just come back from surgery for a neobladder, my professor is going to expect me to understand the pathophysiology of a neobladder, what is being diverted, what is being taken out, what tubes should I expect my patient to have if they have a neobladder, what does the healing process look like, what medications do you think they might be like. Basically, overall, holistically, before I even go in and really assess my patient, what should this patient look like, so that I have an idea. That way, if I go in and I assess my patient and it doesn't follow that, then I know, okay, that's a red flag. Or if it is, and I say, okay, my patient's doing well, they are where they need to be post-operatively in relation to surgical wounds, vital signs, things like that. So post-conference can take anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, depending on how bad it is, because my professor does get into the specifics. So I mean, it's kind of like being in the lion's den. You kind of have to have thick skin. However, you learn a lot. So if she feels like we're not doing good on one particular day, then she'll keep us in there, and we won't give 10 o'clock meds to make sure that we are understanding the content. Because giving meds is one thing, you can teach a monkey to give meds, but understanding the pathophysiology behind it, why you're giving the med, what is it for, that's what sets you apart from a different kind of nurse, like an LPN or whatever the case is. You're here to think critically. So let's say we're on a good day, post-conference only takes an hour. So now it should be about 9 o'clock. So at 9 o'clock, I go ahead and I meet up with my nurse again. At this point, she's looking in the chart, verifying orders, making sure that all the doctor's orders are in and they're correct. Oh my god, these cars, seriously, it's not that hard. It's really not that hard. Anyways, and I'm basically following my nurse around, and yeah, I can help her give the assessments. So maybe while she's getting the medications together, I will do a head-to-toe assessment, and she'll critique me. And if she feels like I'm weak on a certain system, she'll go in and check after me just to double check that it looks like I know what I'm doing. So, and I'll probably be doing that for about anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. And at that point, I should have already assessed my patient. And then I just, watch her give meds. If I'm allowed to give meds that day, then I'll give the med. And then that's pretty much what I do throughout the day. I also do some charting for my patient. Wow.
Just missed the train, honey. Yes. Beat the train.
Yeah, and then I'll just go around with my nurse. If she needs me to go drop something off at the lab, I'll do that. If she needs me to get up. If she needs me to get one of her other patients up and walk them because they've come back from surgery, they need to get up and move, I'll do that. If she needs me to go drain something, I'll do that. I answer call lights. And I'm basically an investigator, if somebody needs something, I'm going to try and help them as best as I can. And if I can't, I'm going to find someone who can. And that's pretty much what I do the whole day. And intermittently, I'll be in the back. We have a textbook in the back, so if there are certain things I want to look up, I'll look them up. And that's pretty much how clinicals work for me. I don't know, I feel like me verbalizing it sounds extremely boring, but I actually learn a lot in clinicals. And the great thing about it is that in class right now, we're learning about like acute kidney injury, liver cancer, hepatitis, things like that. It's because you don't know how to drive. Sorry. The clinical component to nursing school is extremely important because it's one thing to learn from the book, and you know, the didactic portion of nursing school is very important, because if you don't understand that, it's going to be very hard to understand the clinical portion. But you need both. They are one and the same. Like, it makes so much sense when you can piece together what the problem is and visualize what that patient is supposed to look like. I am a visual learner, so for me to understand holistically and cohesively, I need to be able to see what this patient looks like. I can understand coronary artery disease, CHF, I can spit out all that knowledge to you, but if I don't understand what my patient is supposed to look like, I'm no good to that patient, because I'm not going to be able to effectively take care of them. So that was clinicals today. I also had an accident. I had a huge ravioli explosion, and if you can't tell, I have on a white clinical top, so yeah, white and stains don't really go together. Not only did I get pen marks all over my clinical top because I forgot to cap my pen when I put it in my pocket, so there's literally blue ink everywhere. I was heating up my lunch. It was lean cuisine. It was like cheese tortellini, and it literally blew up in my lap, and so there's like ravioli all over the bottom of my clinical uniform. I'm like so embarrassed. I didn't even want to go out in the hallway because I felt like everyone was going to judge me because I have this big old stain, and I kind of just felt like people are going to think,
damn, if this girl can't even get the food to her mouth, how is she gonna keep me alive? How is she gonna take care of me effectively?
that was clinicals. So I had that explosion, and then I don't know, she let us out early today, which is very rare. Normally we're out of here, okay, let me get in the other lane, 7 o'clock on the dot, but today she let us out a little bit early. And tomorrow, normally Wednesdays I have more of an evening shift, so I would go in from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. in the evening, but tomorrow we have our human simulator, so we're gonna go in and get like a fake dummy to, like, I don't know, some kind of workup, and the dummy like talks and moves and has feelings and things like that. So we're gonna do that, and then in the morning, and then in the afternoon we have our IV lab, so we're gonna practice putting in IVs. And no, we're not gonna practice putting in IVs on real people or each other. We're gonna practice on dummies. We're not allowed to practice on live human beings for legal reasons, but that'll be fun. I'll try to record some of that so you can see what that looks like. Look at that car. People are so impatient. But anyway, so that's what I'm doing tomorrow instead of going to the hospital. And then Thursdays I have off, so but I'll probably use it to study. That's what I'll be doing Thursday. And then Friday I have class again, and that's pretty much what the week is going to look like. So like I said, I'm just going to try to record, I'm just going to try to take you guys along with me so you can see what a fairly typical week right now looks for me. But yeah, nursing school's almost over, guys. So right now, still in traffic, still driving home. Hey guys, so I'm back. It's the end of the day. It's 3:18. We got out about an hour early from IV lab. We had our human patient simulation today, and basically how that works is we get a patient, they have some type of medical diagnosis or disorder, and of course something goes wrong, and we have to figure out what is going on and what the nursing interventions are for that particular problem. So today we had a patient, I don't remember his name, he's a 52-year-old male with end-stage renal disease, and with end-stage renal disease, He's just come back from hemodialysis. His blood pressure was dropping. He hadn't gotten any of his morning meds, and basically we just had to assess him and figure out what we were going to do. Maybe increase the IV fluids, etc., etc. When I went, because we go in 2 students at a time, I feel like when I went it was a little chaotic just because I was actually last, and the partner that I had was pretty nervous, and I don't know, just things didn't go as well as I would have liked them to go. But nonetheless, I got through it, I learned, and I took away from the human patient simulator as much as I could. Still don't think it was that helpful, but I do understand the purpose of it. But there's nothing like actual patient interaction. Yeah, so that was human sim. And then at 12, I would say about 12:45, we had our IV lab, and that was a lot of fun. Like, we practiced, and I was able to shoot some footage. So I'll insert that so you can see what I was doing. And now I'm just heading home. Also, we got our results back from the test that we took on Monday. And like I said before, I was really nervous about my performance on that exam just because I wasn't feeling well that morning, and then I ended up getting there late, and it caused me to, I missed out on about 15 to 20 minutes of the exam, and I was rushing, and I don't like feeling flustered, so I didn't think I did as best as I could have done. So we got our results back today, and I was like so lightheaded when we were getting our results back. I was nervous because this test is worth 25% of our grade. It's a big deal, and the HESI is literally a week from today. It's next Wednesday, and our final is next Friday, like Friday of next week. So, you know, like, this class is going to be over in less than 2 weeks. Like, I literally have, what was it, 5, 6, 7? I have 7 more days of school. This class is going to be over next week. I have 2 more lectures. We have Friday and Monday's lecture, and then Wednesday is our HESI, and Friday is the final exam, and then Monday I start leadership. So super duper fast paced. I'm so happy, but I was nervous. But this is why I was so nervous for the exam grade, because this grade could ultimately decide how hard, like how much I need to improve for the final and what I need to really shoot for the HESI. But I got my grade back. As our professor was passing the grades back, I was praying, because I was like, God, just please let the information that I studied and that you put in my head flow from my fingertips, flow from my brain, out through my fingertips, and manifest itself on this exam. And I feel like that, not that I feel, I know that's what happened, because I got my results back, and I got a, drumroll please, I got a 95% on my exam, which is insane. So ultimately, I'm just like, girl, I'm so happy about my performance on this exam. Like, not that I condone doing awful on exams. I feel like everyone should try to do well on exams, but I just feel like such a weight has been lifted off me because I started off really strong in this course. I feel kind of at ease, but not really, and I feel like I can actually, like, in my mind, tell myself truthfully, like, you're gonna get through nursing school, you're gonna pass, everything is gonna be okay. And if you watched like one of my first videos on this channel where I just talked about how nursing school has changed my life, or you've read my blog, then you know that I never ever felt comfortable in this program. Even as I was progressing and I was doing fairly well in my classes, I never really got to a point where I felt like, you got this, girl, you're gonna make it, up until my first advanced med surg exam. And that was last week or the week before that. That was when I kind of started hearing that little voice in my head saying, okay, girl, you're gonna do this, you can get through this. And this kind of just magnified that feeling that I had. So I'm in a really good place right now. I'm really happy. Hopefully I can keep this up.